Hello everyone, Jen with Laughing Lotus Wellness here, and this is our November edition of our newsletter. And so I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do just a little bit of a chat and then a meditation at the end. I love this meditation. I hope that you are feeling it as much as I am. I think it's it's sort of a breath work combined with a meditation. So I love it, and I think it's accessible to everybody. And so stick around for that. I'm not going to talk a long time. I am going to start with a poem, and this is out of a book called Mala of the Heart. It's 108 Sacred Poems. And I thought this was really beautiful. So I'm going to say, before I even launch into this, that if for any reason, God is not something that's comfortable for you, that this does use that terminology. And I just want to encourage you to reach in and decide what feels safest to you for this language. So encouraging you not to maybe get stuck in the name or the word phrase God if that's not something that resonates for you. But if it does, that's awesome. I very often have evaded using this terminology simply because I want everything that I do to be accessible to everyone, depending on whatever your spiritual belief system is. But today this was really beautiful, and it just really resonated with me. And I'm like, I know I don't normally do this, but today it felt like the right thing to do. So I am going to share a poem that's going to sound very Christian in nature. That doesn't mean that that's the way that you have to take this. Again, you can always insert your own version of your belief system in anything that I provide you. So this is the poem. And it's no wonder that I love the author, by the way, and I'll talk about that in a hot second for you. I think God might be a little prejudiced, for once he asked me to join him on a walk through this world. As we gazed into every heart on this earth, and I noticed he lingered a little bit longer before any face that was weeping, and before any eyes that were laughing. And sometimes when we passed a soul in worship, God too would kneel down. I have come to learn God adores his creation. And this is by St. Francis of Assisi, and St. Francis is like one of my all-time favorites. I'm just a huge animal lover, and so it's one of those energies that definitely resonates really deeply with me. And so I just thought that was so beautiful. And what I think I really enjoyed about this poem was it feels reverent. It feels like even God walking through his world, right? So even source, even whatever your belief system is, walking through this world and seeing all this beauty, right? That there's this reverence to it. There's this absolute honor for sure the suffering, but all of the things, all of the beauty, all of the joy, all of the sadness, all of it, right? And right now we're still in this really tumultuous time frame where I think we need reminders to embrace the beauty, okay? And so my Goddess on the Go community is working right now with one of the goddesses. It's all about beauty and abundance and things like that. So I've been encouraging them to kind of dig deep and look for this all around them. But I want to even put it out here for all of you to sit with. As we head into November, it has been, my word, how many months now? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Oh my God, 9 months. We've just dated a baby, friends. It's 9 months of this pandemic stuff. And I want to talk about that. It's really easy right now, I think, for all of us to get really stuck in the madness of this, right? The struggle with our kids and going back to school or not, and how much we can interact with one another. And there's all of these really, hard, ugly pieces, I think, that are still kind of looming for us. So it's going to take extra effort, I'm going to be honest, to do this November and Thanksgiving. And I think of November as the month of gratitude. I have strange themes to every month. I don't know if y'all do. That must just be a Jen thing. I don't know. But for me, November's all about gratitude. And so for me, as I was getting ready today, we have a handful of friends that are becoming positive for COVID. So it's been kind of a stressful week, if I'm being honest. And Chloe's not been feeling well, and I've not been feeling well, so Chloe's getting tested today. It's super fun. And so we've been going through this really tumultuous, kind of weird period of time. But as I was in my meditation this morning, it really became very clear to me as I was thinking about, gratitude, how much I have to be grateful for. And so I really want us to pause for a minute. And here's what I would say I think is helpful is, can you look at this last 9 months and consider where you've grown? Can you look at this last 9 months and think about the ways that things have shifted, maybe in a way that has brought some awareness to your life that is actually really beautiful? You know, one of the things I think I'm aware of is that grassroots efforts are really important, and that I'm grateful that I'm seeing young people inspired in that way. Like, I get really excited and hopeful in my heart when I see that, you know, youngsters are stepping up and holding signs and rooting for a cause. And I think for me, there's nothing more incredible than watching young people step into their voice and find their own set of values and belief systems. And it was one of the things I love doing as a clinician. So it's really like, there's some really incredible things. There's a lot of garbage going on, guys. There's some really incredibly beautiful things happening. And I just this morning in meditation was feeling really grateful for witnessing the grassroots effort, doing my part where I could, and really just all of a sudden I was like, look at all the things that I have. And I know we could do this and we should do this every day. But look at this home that I have. Look at my beautiful family that for all intents and purposes is safe and healthy overall. Look at our ability to work from home and be flexible. Look at how I wake up every day and I have creativity in my heart. Like, there's some things that, I mean, are just like essential beauty kind of aspects and energies of our lives that I feel like we can connect to anytime we want. And so I really want to slow you down in this month of November and have you really reflect on that. Where in my life can I send some gratitude? And so today our meditation is going to be, it's grateful. It's all about gratitude, and it's going to be an inhale, I am, and it's going to be an exhale, gratitude in action. And so I want to encourage you, or challenge you, maybe challenge is the better word, is to go out this month, right? I'm a little ahead of the game, right? Just a couple of clicks ahead of the game here before we hit November 1st. But I really want you to head into the month of November and really be thinking about, how can I be gratitude in action? Because I think many of us, and I don't know if you guys agree, I think for me, when I started thinking about gratitude this morning, I was thinking about like how it's it's a feeling first. That was my first instinct. And then I thought, no, really gratitude is an action, it's reverence. It's holding space and really witnessing. And so there's actually an active piece to this. So our meditation today is going to be all about gratitude in action. It's very simple and it's lovely. And so I hope that you guys will really enjoy it. This is from my heart to yours, all of you. I hope you guys have a beautiful holiday. I'm going to say this, friends, it is not looking like I'm going to get my family here for Thanksgiving. It's sucky sad. If I was being honest, if I was being real, it's like the one holiday I host every year. And I know it wasn't easy for my family to decide that, but I think that there's still a lot of discomfort, which I understand, which is honestly, it's the smart answer, right? It doesn't mean I don't feel sad about it. It doesn't mean I'm not grieving. I think it gave me a week of funkiness. I'll be honest, a little bit of darkness was riding around with me. So this morning I felt really good to like get rid of that, because that was like ugly and sad. And so, you know, I think what I have to do is be grateful for the safety and grateful for my family to, you know, connect in a different way this holiday than we ever have. And to really, it's reminding me to be damn grateful for every minute that I get with everyone, my family, my friends included. And so, so I just want to put that out there to each of you as you go through this process, to be thinking about it that way if you can. And so as you enter your meditation today, I'm going to encourage you, you can do a couple of things. We won't spend a long time in meditation. I'm going to pause before I start in a minute so that you guys, if you ever want to go back, what I'll probably do is actually cut this down and put it on YouTube so that if you want to access it throughout the month, it's one of the things I'd really recommend. As a wellness coach, one of the things that I want people to be doing is beginning to put little acts of service and kindness and self-love in your wellness toolkit every day, like brushing your teeth. And so if this is something I can put out there that you guys might use for the month of November, I hope that you will access that. And so that will hopefully be accessible to all of you when I can spend a minute and edit it and trim it down and get it on YouTube for the full-blown meditation all by itself without any of this talking. So so my apologies for this. You will get the YouTube version that will be just the meditation if you would like to come back and use that. And so again, I am, and then it's gratitude in action is the inhale and the exhale. And I'm going to walk you guys through that in a moment. But I do want to just have you come to an easy seated position, wherever that is. If that's in your chair, if you're at work and you're listening for 5 minutes and you got a little bit of time, you might have your, AirPods in, you might have your headset on, whatever it is. Wherever you are, sitting up nice and tall for a moment, nice tall spine. And closing your eyes for a minute, wherever you are, if you can. If you can't, focus on something. Find something, a focal point on your desk, at home. If there's people around, you're like, this looks weird, just find something in front of you to kind of stare at. And loosely let your eyes just kind of relax, right? Just being present for this moment. And beginning that I am gratitude in action meditation here. Starting with our eyes closed and just settling into the breath. Nice tall spine as much as possible here. I'm a little stuffy, but allow that inhale and exhale to come in and out through the nose, the nostrils as much as possible. It's soothing for your nervous system. If for any reason you are stuffy today, then you can just use your mouth, inhaling and exhaling in whatever fashion's comfortable. And before we go in and do our breath work here with your eyes closed or eyes and gaze focused on some focal point, I want you to just really take a minute and plug into your gratitude. And there are a lot of meditations out there around gratitude, right? And I understand that. What I want you to do for a minute is really pause and reflect in this last 9 months. The last 9 months, we've had a lot of really hard, challenging moments as a culture, in our communities, with our friends and family. And pausing here, and I want you to really reflect on what do you have? What abundance have you been gifted? What blessings do you have? What blessings do you have? And I want you to start and send out your thoughts to the things that are kind of further away from you. What are you grateful for that's kind of outside yourself, right? Outside your home. What resources, what tools, what life lessons. It can be anything. It can be people that are far away, whatever really suits you. Sending that mind out and reaching for gratitude, finding the abundance. Pausing in reflection for a moment here. And now bringing that awareness a little bit closer into home, right? So now it's that layer closest to home. Friends and family again might be in that, your work, purpose, spirituality. Something to just feel really grateful for in this last 9 months. It could be someone healing from something. It could be a lesson learned at just the right time, right? The ability to engage with others over the summer. It can be any of those things. Just pausing here. Always returning to the breath. And then one more layer in. What I'd like you to do now is go all the way inside. For a moment, reflecting on the inside of who you are. Having a moment of gratitude for who you are and how you show up to the world. What are you bringing in the form of abundance? And having gratitude for that for a moment. Maybe it's your sense of humor. Maybe it's a really amazing project you completed. Maybe it's a new friend you made. Maybe it's your honesty, your way with words. Anything you're grateful for in the inside of who you are. Seeing that layer upon layer of abundance and beauty. Feeling that gratitude all the way to the core of who you are. Gratitude in every single cell, imagining every single cell in your body lit up in gratitude. And now you can either bring your hands to heart center, leaving those eyes closed. You can leave your hands at heart center in like a prayer position, or you can just leave your hands and palms up, face up on your lap if you'd like. Hands down on your knees if you're feeling like you'd like to stay more rooted today. So several options here. Still immersed in that gratitude. And now we're going to engage in our heart breath exercise for today. And I would like you to imagine for a moment that you are going to breathe in right through that heart center. So you're going to pull that breath in from the front of the heart chest area into that heart center. And then you're going to exhale, imagining that breath is going to come up and out through the crown. And then we're going to inhale back through the crown down into that heart space again. And as we exhale, allowing that to illuminate out through the heart center. Okay, so it's an inhale through that heart center, exhale through the crown, inhale through the crown into the heart center, and then exhaling back out through that heart space. Inhaling through the heart, exhaling through the crown, inhaling through the crown, exhaling and sending that out through the heart. Okay, so again, inhaling through the heart, exhaling through the crown, inhale through the crown, exhale an expansive illumination out the heart center. So as you notice, you keep breathing in as I'm talking for a moment here, right, with your breath, and just imagining that that breath is flowing. And now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to add a healing light to that if you can. If your mind will allow it, and only if your mind will allow it, you can imagine a healing light that's flowing with your breath. So imagine that breath has light, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to meet up in the front of that heart center, and we're going to pull that light in on an inhale through the heart and the chest space, filling that space with light. Exhaling out the crown of the head with a light, pulling that light back down in on an inhale through the crown into the heart center space. And again, exhaling out through that heart center. Inhaling through that heart center, bringing that light to your heart. Exhaling out top of the crown as that light exits through the crown. Inhaling back down through that crown into that heart space, and then exhaling once more, allowing that light to illuminate all that it encompasses as you exhale your breath. So just for a moment, finding that breath, allowing that inhale and light to enter through that heart space, exhaling that out through the crown, inhaling that light and breath back down from the crown to the heart, and sending that light and love out from the chest and heart space on an exhale. And now what I'd like to do is add a little phrase for you to include with that inhale and light as we inhale and exhale. So it will look like an inhale, I am. So each time we inhale, I am. And as we exhale, living gratitude, gratitude in action. I am on an inhale, gratitude in action on an exhale. Inhale, I am. Exhale, gratitude in action. Inhale, I am. Exhale, gratitude in action. And so with that same felt sense of light and illumination, pulling that breath right in through that heart space, inhaling that light and belief in, I am. Exhaling out through the crown, gratitude in action. Inhaling back down to the heart, I am. Exhaling through that heart space, gratitude in action. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, gratitude in action. I am inhaling, gratitude in action, exhaling. I am inhaling, gratitude in action, exhaling. I am inhaling, gratitude in action, exhaling. And now with your own breath, inhaling in this way for a few moments more. I want to let you just have this time in your own space with your own breath. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, gratitude in action. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, gratitude in action. And imagine as you do, pulling that light and those words right into that heart space to start. Exhaling it up through the crown of the head. Pulling another inhale down through the crown into the heart space center. And then shooting that illuminating light out through your heart center space to reach everyone and everything. Gratitude in action. Just a few more full rounds of breath in this way. And we'll meet back in center in a moment with just a regular, relaxed and released breath. I am inhaling gratitude and action as an exhale. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, gratitude and action. I am inhaling. Exhaling, gratitude and action. Now releasing your hands to your lap if they're not already there. Just pausing a moment to really notice, release any breath, effortful breath, and just now in this quiet space, feeling that vibration of your meditation, a quiet space and reverence for your gratitude. And reverence for all the things that we have, the blessings we've been given. As you exit out of meditation today, taking that felt sense with you. Remembering to live in this next month from a space of gratitude as an action. Pausing in reflection, thinking about how you might show up differently if gratitude is an action word. And maybe that means reverence, prayer, meditation. Maybe for you that means going out of your way to do something extra for someone who deeply needs it. Maybe it's being a little more mindful of sharing love within your family. Sending a note or a text. Giving an extra hug when you get to spend time with someone. Gratitude is an action. And dropping your chin to your chest here if you'd like. Slowly and gently reopening your eyes, coming back into your space. And remembering again that reverence, that heartfelt space, that joy that you felt hopefully in your meditation. And I want to send my heartfelt gratitude to each of you in this month of November, or anytime you're watching this, is to see gratitude as an action. I'm going to bring my hands to heart center and say the light and the teacher in me honors the light and teacher in every single one of you. And in a form of reverence and gratitude, I will say namaste. And for those of you that are still with me here, I want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my newsletter, for my page, for following along. Whether or not you use resources, I'm always grateful for that. But I want to say that just for being here with me, there's an energy and having a community, and I'm so super grateful for that. And so I want to send my own gratitude. I know that this can be a very challenging time. I've had my own challenges, my own moments where certainly I do not feel like I'm doing amazing things, trust me. And to come back to gratitude, I think, is such a root, and I think it's so important for each of us to remember how much we have. I think it gets really easy in this last 9 months to look at the things we don't have, because there are things that are missing. And I think it's so crucial to our well-being, though, to find a space to come back to this and remind ourselves of the things that we do have. It's just a different lens. And then to take that and really make it an outward behavior, right? I can come from my heart space and love someone a little bit better every day. Every day I'm given the opportunity to show up and love somebody just a little bit better, or a little more fuller, or show up in a kinder, more gracious way, or forgive a little more easily, or right. So right now I think people feel a little bit like thinned out and raw and tired, and I do too. I feel that. If you're not feeling that, bless your soul. I feel it. So I understand it. And so from my perspective, I think many of us are feeling pretty strung out after this long extended period of time, and also facing going into the winter months and not having any idea where things are going to be. And I think that this gratitude practice that I will load up on YouTube for all of you, I'll just, like I said, I'll add that just meditation piece. You can just listen to that if you want without all of the rigmarole for me. I really hope that you can enter this November from a clear space, and that using this meditation as you need to kind of come back to it, to kind of stay rooted, to remember the goodness that is around us, even when things are really hard. I was feeling like I needed it. So it's oftentimes why I show up and offer something to each of you, is that it's really usually a place where I'm at, that I'm working through my own stuff. And so I'll kind of show up with that, and hope that's useful, hope that it resonates with somebody out there that maybe needed to hear that today, or for this next month, or whatever. So I hope that meditation lands for you. I hope you do a really nice job of taking care of yourself this November. It is the time of year where things are slowing down. I'll have a whole host of things in the newsletter, of course. There'll be a recipe of my faves. Usually I talk about a crystal that I really love and why. I'm sure I'll find something about gratitude for that for you guys. And little practices and things like that. But I really want to say that as we slow down, this is a time of reflection. This is a time of quiet. We're kind of heading into that time of year where it's a little more quiet, it's a little more peaceful. And how can you use that time to rejuvenate? Because everybody's been on a really long, we just dated a baby. I joked earlier, we made a baby, friends. We've had 9 months of a pandemic. We created a whole new being. And so how can I show up? How can I rejuvenate myself that I'm heading into the holidays in December, feeling maybe a little more grounded, rooted, held, like just feeling a little more connected again? Because I think it's easy, like I said, with all the stress, to really feel disconnected. I know I have felt it quite a bit. I have to really work at it. And so I hope that you will do that for yourself, so that come December, you really feel like you can be present and showing up to the holidays and able to enjoy them as much in whatever capacity you get. Mine is definitely going to be creative this year. And so, it's going to take some energy, my friends, to show up this year, because it's not how I want it to be. And that's okay. And it's my job to show up how I want to show up. And so I can show up and I can be sad and depressed and at loose ends, or I can show up present and loving and gracious and trying to really just enjoy the things that I do have. And I think that's really for me what I want to do. I'm gunning for showing up in a really beautiful way because it's going to be a challenge. It already has been. So, but I want a different lens on for the holidays. So I don't want to show up how I have been feeling. And so this is my effort to kind of get myself locked into a place that feels a little bit better before I head into December. So there'll be all kinds of things available in the newsletter, you guys. I always list that out. You're welcome to take a look at those things. If anything suits you, that's amazing. I'd love to see you in practice. If not, that's okay. Just keep hanging in there with me. Keep checking out the newsletter. If you ever have questions or things you'd like me to address directly, I love, love, love that. I think that's so powerful, and it's so fun for each of you if there's a really good question someone has. And so feel free to look through that stuff, but this was just a chat for all of us. This is for me and you, and I hope that this finds you well. I hope this finds you healthy. And I just want you to know I'm thinking about each of you. I know this has just been an incredibly weird journey, but we are getting through this, and we are going to get through this, and it might not look exactly the same, but I really do believe there's going to be a time where things are going to feel much more cohesive again. And so it's how do we live in this in-between state until we can get somewhere that feels a little more normal, and it just might be some time, my friends. And so I think it's all about creating that new norm for each of us and stepping into this in a different way. And so again, St. Francis of Assisi, man, I don't know. I love, love, love this poem. And I'm going to end with it again because I think it's so beautiful. So it said, I think God might be a little prejudiced, for once he asked me to join him on a walk through this world. And we gazed into every heart on this earth, and I noticed he lingered a little bit longer before any face that was weeping and before any eyes that were laughing. And sometimes when we passed a soul in worship, God too would kneel down. I have come to learn God adores his creation. And so with that thought, I want each of you to think about how you can show up and love what you've got right in front of your face. It's hard, and I really want to challenge you for the month of November to show up and really embrace that. And so if you need to, this meditation is going to be on YouTube. You're welcome to go, and I'll call it I Am Gratitude in Action. So that's what it'll be called. So it's easy to find. And I'll, like I said, we'll sum that up just so it's just the meditation itself for you, and you don't have to listen to all of my talking. But I wish you well. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, and bless your families, and I hope you guys have health and joy and time to really embrace what you are grateful for and show up with an action around that, okay? Because that's something that we can do. All right, take care, everyone, and I will see you next month.